Hey Al, are you shocked as much as me about the Predators sweeping the Blackhawks?
Who? What? Are we talking about hockey? Nobody cares. Go Warriors!
Alright, so we're all decked out for the playoffs here. Unfortunately, my team's not in it.
So why are you saying you decked out for the playoffs?
I mean, still, I watch all the NHL playoffs. At least most of them.
After your team is eliminated, you keep on watching, huh?
Oh yeah, it's the best.
If my team lose, I'm so ticked off it's kind of hard for me to watch some more of the playoffs until they get to the finals or something.
It certainly helps that we won 2 Stanley Cups in within the last 5 years now. That helps. That we are champions. So the Warriors wrapped it up last night.
That's right.
All right, so
and beat the brakes off of Portland.
Big shock there. And what we can do here is debate the NBA playoffs versus the NHL playoffs, because the Warriors are going to go 12-0 through the first 3 rounds.
I'd like to see them go 16-0.
They might lose 1 to the Spurs. 16-0. Well,
we're not sure if it's going to be the Spurs. It might be the way it's going right now. Memphis might beat the Spurs.
What? What's going on there?
It's tied up right now.
It's 2-2?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh yeah, it's tied up.
Oh, that's news to me. That's how much I'm paying attention, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that. Well,
sort of like I don't know about what's going on in the hockey world.
Yeah, but I think I know a little more about the NBA than.
Oh, I'm sure you know more about the NBA than I know about hockey.
Yeah, because not enough people talk about it. But I'll tell you that in the NHL, it's way more wide open. The parity is, I don't know what's going to happen, because the Chicago Blackhawks, who have been like the premier franchise for the last, 7 years now, got swept by the Nashville Predators. Dominated.
Well, that's sort of like the Sharks, who was in the finals last year, and they done got eliminated in the first round, too.
It's not like the Sharks. The Blackhawks won 3 Stanley Cups. The Sharks haven't won crap.
Yeah, they haven't. They just always
they won a bunch of President's trophies.
They're always up there and never does anything.
They got a bunch of division titles. Big whoop-de-doo. So it's not like the Sharks at all.
Whatever.
But we know in the NBA who's going to be in the finals. It's going to be the Warriors and the Cavs.
I know it's going to be the Warriors. I'm not convinced it's going to be the Cavs yet.
The Wizards?
Well, up until yesterday, I might have said the Wizards, but they looked kind of awful yesterday. But
I don't even know what they did.
I just think one of those teams that's left in the East, somebody might give them a
LeBron
little bit
is setting records in the first round. Record-setting performances.
Well, so what?
He's the man.
I got to admit.
All right, he
is special.
His floor is the finals. His ceiling is winning it.
Well, I wouldn't say that, because he done lost it almost as many times as he done won it.
Was he 4-3?
Yeah, so he's...
That is what are you talking about? He's gone to it 6 times in a row.
But he's lost a lot of times, too.
His floor is losing it. His ceiling is winning it.
Well, guess what? He's going to lose it again this year. But I'd like to see him not even make it.
Oh, he's going to make it.
Okay, I
pending
think
injuries.
Boston might have some. Boston might have to say something about that. Washington might have something.
Boston got lucky. Rajon Rondo got injured. Otherwise, they might not even make it out of the first round.
Look, they had extenuating circumstances too. Isaiah Thomas' sister died the day before their first game, so that has something to do with how they played. But it looks like now he's recovering and he's back on track.
They're not going to beat Cavaliers. Isaiah Thomas is their best player. The guy's 5 feet tall.
I remember some other pretty good short guys who played.
He's not going to beat LeBron James.
Okay.
LeBron can guard him. That's how good he is.
No, he can't.
Guard Isaiah Thomas?
He might could guard him for 1 or 2 plays, but for the whole game. I remember one game I was watching LeBron James tried to hold Steph Curry. Steph was lighting him up.
Yeah, because he just jacks up threes all day.
Oh, that's right. He can't come out there. That's right. So what? What does LeBron do?
Oh, I remember a couple blocks in the finals last year.
You got me there.
They'll be scrolling right. They'll be popping up right now.
Last year,
those pictures will be popping up right now.
They didn't win last year just because of LeBron. If it wasn't for Kyrie Irving, LeBron would have been a loser again. If he wouldn't hit that shot right there with a second or two to go, LeBron would have been a loser again.
Did LeBron get an assist on that?
I don't give LeBron anything.
That's unfortunate because he's maybe the best player ever, at least the most talented.
Ever?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure he's on Mount Rushmore yet. I don't think even when he finished, he may not be.
6 straight finals appearances? Get out of here.
There are some people who's got more finals appearances than that and it's not on Mount Rushmore. Making finals does not automatically.
When the Celtics.
Look at Bill Russell.
Yeah, okay.
He was on there, and a couple of his teammates was on there. Then they're not on Mount Rushmore.
Let's talk about why the NHL is better than the NBA.
There's nothing to talk about.
They set the record for the most overtimes in the first round this year, and there wasn't even a Game 7.
You know why?
Oh my goodness!
You know why?
They're unbelievable.
Do you know why?
Because of the low scoring?
They don't score any points in the game, so the game automatically go into overtime. And all of a sudden, all these hockey fans, oh, guys, fabulous in the overtime. Nobody can score in regulation, so that's the reason every game goes into overtime.
Yeah, when you got guys rushing the net, and you don't know if that thing's going in or not. And
you can go out there and watch a game, and nothing's happening. Nobody's scoring. It's just like soccer. Nothing's happening. The only way they can make hockey better, the only way they can make hockey better is what's that thing, the goalie, the goal?
Uh-huh.
They need to make that about at least 5 foot wider and about 5 or 10 feet higher so it'll make it easier for people to score points. Don't nobody want to watch a game and nobody's scoring points ever. Every game's going into overtime.
I don't like it when they have a bunch of goals like that. You're talking about the 80s when the scores would be like 8-6 and all that, like every night. I don't want to do that again.
I just don't like every game going into overtime.
It's like a pitcher's duel.
That means you got to watch this boring game for more time.
It's like a pitcher's duel in the playoffs, in the postseason. That's intense stuff.
I don't think baseball should go over in overtime either, more than one period.
How they should end it? A home run derby?
No, they should just let them play until they score a run. And when that team score a run, if it took them 15 extra,
anyway,
do it that way.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. Get back on your thing.
Another reason why is the aesthetics. Look at how much cooler the hockey jersey is compared to that little tank top. Well, I mean, I like the Warriors jersey, but the hockey players come out and they look like warriors. The helmet on, the pads.
No doubt.
Oh, man.
No doubt hockey players are tough.
Oh, you got
no
that.
No doubt they're
You hear about
tough.
Joe Thornton?
I heard about the Goldie on what you call had a
Sharks,
torn Achilles tendon and
Joe Thornton.
MCL and ACL, and he was able to play.
And that
just telling you.
That guy might retire next year. I don't know about that.
They're tough.
If he's
I gotta admit, they're tough. But that's all they are, is tough. The whole concept of hockey and no scoring and every game's got to go into overtime.
These guys moving 25 miles an hour. Oh, my goodness.
I doubt if I can go 1 mile an hour on skates.
Well, yeah, I suck too. I only went once.
So you're a hockey fan and you can't ice skate?
I cannot ice skate.
Wow.
Well, you're a basketball fan. You can't play.
I used to could play. I still shoot around in my court in my backyard.
Man, you got your leg broken and had it smashed into the door. Don't
care. I still know how to play.
You were in tournaments and stuff back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm afraid of pain, so of course I'm not going to play hockey.
Oh, God, Dave. You like You're a soft fan.
Well, I did play basketball, and I'll tell you this: I was always afraid to touch the ball.
You're like a soft fan.
You talk about that egg.
You're a soft player.
You talk about that egg metaphor from the last episode.
Yeah, you're a soft balled egg.
Well, both of our teams were in the news, and I guess you were telling me before we got on the air that Kevin Durant is back.
Yeah.
And do you think the Warriors are better with or without Kevin Durant? Do they miss a step?
They might step
They
back
won
a little
13
bit.
games in a row without him.
They might step back a little bit when he's out there, but when he's on the team, they step forward 2 or 3 steps.
Of course, he's not reliable at all. The guy gets hurt all the time.
The Warriors have strength in numbers. We can lose pretty much any player, and we can still compete against any team in that league.
That's Colin Coward's favorite thing is when a team has a little cute catchphrase, strength in numbers.
That's right.
Like the Falcons rise up and all that.
And we just lost our coach.
Yeah, as another thing to bring up is Steve Kerr, I guess, might be out for the entire playoffs.
As much as
he says don't get back surgery. So what's going on there?
I've had back surgery, and it's just according to, I guess my doctor might have been better than his, and mine went better than his. Praise the Lord. But I'm telling you this.
I guess he's a mess, yeah.
As much I like him.
That's not what you said a few weeks ago when he was resting everybody.
That's right. But I was getting to that point.
All right.
I'm kind of glad that he's sidelined for a little bit, because it's going to go back to my thing about in basketball, the players make the biggest difference. When Kerr was out last time, what did he do? He was out 35 games or 40-some games, and we still almost went undefeated during that whole time. So now he's out.
Yeah, back when you started the season,
No, we started 27-0 or something like that.
With Luke Walton.
With Luke Walton, who had never coached a day in his life and was still winning. Now we've got a seasoned veteran coach who's taken over. Hey, this team is like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it's got, what's his name? Taking over?
What's that? I can't think.
He used to coach the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, he didn't coach a lot. But the point I want to make here is, it was something that Kerr didn't do that bothers me, and I got a whole group of us Warrior fans who talk with Vanell McGee. He wouldn't play him.
Oh, the human blooper reel?
Yeah.
Right.
So the coach, the coach they got now, the new coach they got now, they asked him a question about Vanell McGee after the game. They said, well, we usually went to him at the end of the first quarter, and we went to him a little bit in the second quarter, but we didn't bother with him. We didn't go back to him in the second half. So he said something that in the third game, he said, I went to him in the second quarter, and he played really good. He said, so I went back to him in the fourth quarter, and he really was saving us. So I went back to him again in the fourth quarter. So it tells
was this yesterday?
Yeah, it tells me that with him, he's willing to give Vanell McGee a chance to play. If he's playing good, he's leaving him out there. But Kerr, when he's out there and he's playing good, it don't make no difference. He's not putting him back in. It's like he's like oblivious to what's going on. When McGee get out there, the whole team get energetic. The fans start going crazy. They
everybody's laughing.
Everybody's into the game.
Everybody's laughing.
No, they enjoying what he's doing. You probably ain't watching the games right now, but you ain't looking.
I haven't watched 1 second of Warriors basketball.
You need to go back and watch when Vanell McGee is in there.
So what's Kerr's issue with McGee?
He say he has no issue with him, but you know what? Proof is in the pudding.
Oh well.
If you're not playing him, and he's sitting on the sideline, and you could put Lavelle Clooney in there in front of him, and McAdoo in front of him, and that scrub, they starting center Zaza. If you could play Zaza in front of Vermel McGee, I'm telling you right now, you need your head examined. It is no way that scrub should be starting in front of Vermel McGee. No way. He can't shoot. 7 foot tall, can't dunk. I mean, he got one dunk this whole year, and he's almost 7 foot tall, and he can't play defense.
I don't know if I would argue too much with what Kerr's doing.
You know what? He's overrated. You know why? This team is so loaded. It's going to win.
It doesn't matter.
It's going to win whoever's coach. Look, we got a new coach in there right now. I can't even think of his name. But guess what? By the time these playoffs and stuff is over, if Carr don't come back, he is going to be in place to get a starting job somewhere else, because they're going to say, look what he did with the Warriors, and all these other GMs
look what happened to
don't understand.
Yeah, look what happened to Luke Walton. He got a job within a second, right?
And you know what? He's going to get a job within a second, because he's going to look good, because they're going to say, well, he didn't mess it up, so we want to try him. But the problem is, you go to another team, there's nothing there to mess up, because it ain't got straight
yet. It's a players' league.
That's right.
It's a players' league. You're right.
And the basketball playoffs is so much better than hockey.
Well, Colin Cowherd agrees with you.
Everybody agrees with me. Hockey is hockey the third most popular sport in America? I mean, the fourth or the fifth? Sixth? I don't know. Seventh?
Probably sixth or seventh.
Yeah. So, until they get to where they scoring more points,
I'm going to pull up that.
They're never going to get any more. And the most exciting thing about hockey is when somebody start fighting. If that's your draw card, okay.
It's the biggest sport in Canada.
In Canada.
Colin Cowherd, nothing. Oh, so Jim Rome always says nothing is better than playoff hockey, right? That's Jim Rome. Well, Colin Cowherd responded, yeah, except playoff basketball, which will quadruple NHL ratings, and I can actually see the ball.
Yeah. Hockey is not, I actually went to a hockey match, and it's okay if you see it in person, but it is definitely not
This is coming from
TV friendly.
This is coming from Colin Cowherd, who saluted Bob Miller, the longtime voice of the Los Angeles Kings, who retired this year, was his last year because of health problems. He saluted him on Twitter, but I've also seen Colin go on record as saying that hockey is unwatchable on TV. So I don't know how he knew about him. I was surprised by that.
Maybe he was listening to it on the radio, since you can't watch it on TV.
No, Bob Miller's on TV.
Oh, I don't care.
And he knew who Bob Miller was.
He knows that you can't watch the sport on TV.
The Los Angeles Kings were in the news. You saw them on the bottom line on ESPN. That'd be about it.
You're right. They can make the bottom line.
Maybe you saw Barry.
The footnote.
Maybe you saw Barry Melrose. You see him
every time I turn ESPN on, and ESPN on, and I look and see Barry Melrose on there. That's my signal to change the station.
Well, the Los Angeles Kings fired their head coach Darryl Sutter and the GM Dean Lombardi. Both were instrumental in helping the team win 2 Stanley Cups in 2012 and 2014. But the last 3 years, we've only won 1 playoff game. And we've missed the playoffs 2 of those 3 years.
And so they fired them both, huh?
So I guess it's time for a change, because I guess in the head coaching circles, if you're not getting fired, like the guy who's taken over for the Warriors has been fired, multiple times?
Oh, yes.
If you're not getting fired, you're not doing it right. The last 8 teams that are left in the currently in the NHL, 7 of them have coaches that have been fired or on their second job. And 2 of them, Mike Yeo of the Blues, beat the Minnesota Wild, who fired him. And Todd McClellan of the Oilers beat the Sharks, who fired him.
Yeah, but that applies to the NBA too. All of the coaches that's in the NBA right now in the playoffs, they've been fired except Cleveland Lou. He got the job.
Yeah, but is he really the coach?
Yeah, but LeBron's the coach.
Yeah.
So, like you say, if you're a
LeBron
coach,
wants him out.
If you're a coach, That's part of the job title. How long it's going to be before you get fired? You know, that's how it is. If you're a coach, you getting fired. Whether it don't make a difference unless you in college basketball where you get a job and it's like given to you for life.
Those guys get away with everything too.
They get away with everything, but then they recruit. I mean, and they got so much going on under the table and stuff. And when
college basketball is brutal.
Oh, I know. And
Rick Pitino, I don't know what he has to do to get fired.
If he do get fired, he'll just...
That guy's sleeping with his assistant coach's wife.
He'll come up somewhere else.
He's got a prostitution ring going on campus.
Oh.
Well, John Stevens will take over for the Kings. He's been the assistant coach there for 7 years now, right? Yeah. So hopefully that will... He's also been fired by the Flyers, so we know proven waters there. So here we go.
Nobody cares about hockey.
And the ratings are surging right now.
Okay, so they're getting like maybe from 1% or 2%.
I'm talking about our show right now. People are tuning in.
Oh, they probably going to sleep. We're talking about hockey.
They search for this part.
We're talking about hockey.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're not talking about it. We're talking about hockey.
It's my second favorite sport.
I'm trying to make it sound like
behind football.
Allen Iverson when he was up there talking about, we're talking about practice.
Oh.
Basically, hockey is like practice. It's like a practice sport.
Okay.
It's garbage.
All right. Go Kings.
Go NBA. Go Warriors.